Thank you.
That's okay. Brilliant. So largely speaking, we talked about orientation, induction, stroke induction, and you're saying largely speaking it was good, made you feel welcome, you understood your targets, you got to know your colleagues, and you were introduced to the surgeries and got to get a sense in terms of, for those who had started earlier, what they were learning about working in the surgeries. You got to know about EMIS.
Yeah.
Oh, I should have stopped it. Oh, that was really silly. Never mind. I didn't. So you got to know about EMIS.
Yeah.
So a lot of things that was really great about that induction. Is there anything you think that anything further that could have been done to help you get up to speed quickly?
Now, yes.
Now, yes, you know, okay.
One thing was a good, a thorough education to the GP practices and to clarify roles. I think the one-shot presentation was not enough. Most, because the GPs, I think probably when they come in one time, 5-10 minutes, they were probably not paying much attention. So I think a thorough orientation of the service and what our role is and how we work together with the GP and the advantages of us being there for the benefits of the GP and for the clients. I think that clarity will be so useful, and also better introduction to ourselves to the admin staff, because they are our first point of contact. Anything that we needed in terms of patients coming in and administration purposes, that could have been also. Probably we need more of that. I think I would have done more of that, because when they understand what we are there for, what we're doing. I think it makes a difference. I think one says you have to go 5 times, they're asking, who are you?
Right.
And I'm thinking, I've been here so many times. So then other places, so as soon as you get, hello Joseph, how are you? How are you finding it? It makes a difference. So I think that kind of information sharing, I think information was not shared between the people at the surgery. So one person knew you, other people didn't know, and you have to constantly kind of clarify your role. It wasn't a problem, but you could see where a place where everybody knows where you are from day one, it makes a difference and everything. Another thing too that I think would have been was also another work between the primary, secondary services. As at now, some of the services doesn't even know that we exist, even though my manager and my colleagues went there to make a presentation. The team members, the managers probably know, but the team members don't know that we are supposed to work together and get us into our discharge planning meetings. Because I attended the risk and the homicide meeting recently. One of the areas they think that if it was done well, is discharge planning meetings. So if they knew, they would be quick to invite us to our meeting, knowing that this client is coming to work at the GP surgery and I'll be the allocated person. It will make it easy for the client, makes it safer for the GP, safer for everybody else. So I think that work in future needs to be done well. And also a bit more clarity about the role itself in terms of the specific client group that we are supposed to see. As of now, most GPs are still learning about the people on the SMI, that this is what we are supposed to see. We are getting referrals from all sorts of patients. And what we've done is not to say that, we won't see them. Once they have mental health, we say that, okay, we will identify they are not on the cough register, but referred by GP. So we will see them. I will say that I will see this client and the recommendation given. But it will be clearer that these are not the clients that we target. Because at the end of the day, they want to see that 200 people on the cough. How many have you seen within a year?
Yeah.
But that kind of role is still being clarified as we go along. But we're doing that very diplomatically because you don't want to be in relationships. So role clarity is ongoing. But I think if it's done prior to the new places, if we are going to do, I think it will make so much difference. Better image training at certain surgeries. I would think that if we had a specific trainer for the PCP team, it will be so helpful. The training that I had with one surgery, had it not been that, it means I will have struggled from the next surgery that I went. So some of the practice manager didn't have much knowledge about IMIS and how it was used. I'm in real training. I'm real user for almost all my practice. So coming to IMIS, I needed that kind of training. But thank God that we went around all the practices and you could see the difference of knowledge in terms of how the system is used. So my thinking forward is that if we had a specific trainer for primary care plus, that whenever there is a new person, this person come to our base or we go to him and then take us through somebody that we know, ins and outs and everything. I think that would be very good. And the other thing that I think that would be useful is if we could have IMIS on our laptops or use our base. The reason being that the days that when you go to practice, there are a couple of things that we need to follow up, especially referrals to other agencies and all that. You can't do them on sections because sometimes you are back to back, even when you block things for administrative purposes. When I go to Bedford Hill, it's almost like 12 patients on the day, sometimes. And then it means when I finish, I don't have any space to do that. And as soon as I leave the premises, I don't have access to IMIS, and IMIS doesn't link to RIO. So the two systems are totally separated. So what happens if I have a work to do until I go there the next week, I can't do anything. You don't have access to the patient's information, and you can't be carrying patient's information all around different surgeries and to the base. So it means you are actually almost like not efficient. If we had IMIS on our system, which I think it would be helpful on our laptops, it means when I'm not at a surgery and I'm at my base and I've got 1/2 day, I can look at all the things that I need to do, go through referrals, or do anything that needs to be done in terms of further work. And I think that's what we don't have at the moment. So some people are staying more at a surgery, which they shouldn't. Sometimes you have to stay to be able to do that work, because as you live there, you can't do referrals, you don't have patient's information, you don't have access to anything. So you leave the system and then you come back to Springfield where we have RIO, which has nothing to do with what we're doing.
Right.
So I think, if those things are in place so far,
that seems quite important.
It is.
Because it seems to me as if that has an implication for the extent to which you could use your time.
Yeah.
So the time that's outside, and also the work that has to be done to build relationships with carers and with all the different people that you need to, in order for you to continue having clients.
Yeah, because
so that does seem to be a bit of a challenge.
It is a challenge. We've mentioned it to Kurt. He's also taking it down. I think in the near future we're going to see how we can get that. But I think if the trust or the bodies realize that this is what we need for us to work effectively, I think it's something that either way that they can help us, that would be so good. Because if I've got something to follow up and I'm in the office, then I can't do much.
Yeah.
Then I have to do training, supervision or something else. Whereas I can be effective of even chasing up the people that have DNA. I can look at how many people have DNA. So you can do so much follow-up work. But as soon as you leave the surgery, it's like you are cut off.
Currently there's no space allocated for doing the follow-up work.
No, there's no... unless you leave...
Not equipped space.
Not equipped space, because the surgeries are so much, they are